Assalamu alaikum. Greetings of peace, everyone. Welcome. We begin today's program with the recitation of the Holy Quran by Tariq Malik.
Assalamu alaikum. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon everybody. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم من أجل ذلك كتبنا على بني إسرائيل أنه من قتل نفسا بغير نفس أو فساد في الأرض فكأنما قتل الناس جميعا ومن أحياها فكأنما أحيا الناس جميعا ولقد جاءتهم رسلنا بالبينات ثم إن كثيرا منهم بعد ذلك في الأرض لمسرفون. The translation of the verses I recited before you is as follows. I seek refuge with Allah from Satan the accursed. In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful. On account of this, we prescribed for the children of Israel that whosoever killed a person, unless it be for killing a person or for creating disorder in the land, it shall be as if he had killed all mankind. And whoso gave life to one, it shall be as if he had given life to all mankind. And our messengers came to them with clear signs, yet even after that, many of them committed excesses in the land. Jazakallah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tariq, for that beautiful recitation. Welcome. Greetings of peace to all of you. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I begin in the name of God, most gracious, ever merciful. It is really a pleasure to have all of you here with us this afternoon. If you're on the East Coast, here on the West Coast, where I am in Los Angeles, 9 a.m. Good morning to all of you. Today, we mark the 20th anniversary of 9/11. It's kind of hard to believe it's been 20 years. And we mark this solemn occasion also in very difficult circumstances. We have a pandemic raging. 650,000 Americans have lost their lives. It is an incredible time in terms of wildfires here in California that we're affected by the whole West Coast. Hurricane Ida, the devastation in the South, Louisiana. It is a very difficult time for us. And so we are here on this, what is a National Day of Remembrance, a National Day of Service, to reflect upon this moment with a life-saving effort that we began 11 years ago. And that effort is Muslims for Life. It was an effort that marked the 10th anniversary of 9/11 in 2010, when we felt as a community, the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, that we wanted to have a simple but powerful message that the only blood that we shed as American Muslims is to save lives. It is a message that focuses on the best of Islam and the true and essential teachings of our faith. And to mark that, we joined with the American Red Cross an amazing organization with such a long track record of service in the United States, to hold blood drives all over the country, and with other blood centers as well, but the American Red Cross being a principal partner. We have collected over 65,000 pints of blood, saving as many as 200,000 lives in 11 years. We've held blood drives in various locations, in mosques, synagogues, temples, churches, sporting events, on Capitol Hill with our signature event. And we're really delighted to have a number of our allies here today, and we're going to pop in to a few blood drives as well in Boston and in South Virginia and Connecticut as well. So I just wanted to, before I turn this over to our first speaker, Congresswoman Norma Torres, I wanted to just reflect personally. Most all of us know where we were on 9/11. I know it well because it was my first day of law school, and I was in Cambridge, Massachusetts. I was actually taking Elena Kagan, Supreme Court Justice Kagan's civil procedure class, and she interrupted my class, and she brought all of us to the television monitors. And we saw those images, and I can't ever forget those images. And that moment was really jarring to me as an American Muslim. My parents took the flight 175 that was hijacked, that same route, that same flight, to drop me off to law school a week earlier. And at that moment, as they say, you know, so much changed for our country and for us as American Muslims as well, seeing the identity of the terrorists who committed these atrocities, and knowing that we would have to educate our fellow Americans about the true meaning of our faith and what Islam stands for. I know all of you who are tuning in have your own stories. Some of you may not even been born on 9/11. There's a lot of young Americans who are on this call who are essentially born in this generation, you know, of a post 9/11 America. So we hope this program, brief though it may be, will give you shed some light on the importance of service in this moment. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to United States Congresswoman Norma Torres, our friend from the 35th District of California, where our mosque, the Chino Mosque, Fatul Hamid Mosque is. Congresswoman Torres has been a champion of fighting for the underserved, underprivileged. She's been fully committed her whole life to service, and we're just honored and delighted for her to be such an amazing ally to our community. So Congresswoman, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Amjad, and good morning and greetings of peace to all. It is my great honor to participate in this year's 9/11 Memorial Muslims for Life blood drive. Thank you to the Ahmadiyya community and to the host chapters of the American Red Cross for hosting this wonderful blood drive event. Most of us remember where we were and exactly what we were doing when we saw the Twin Towers collapse and the Pentagon on fire that morning of September 11th, 2001. That horrible day is forever engraved in the hearts of every American. And each year, the Ahmadiyya Muslim community honors those victims from this horrific attack of terrorism and hatred towards our country, turning this dark day into a service of love and remembrance by hosting blood drives and saving lives. To date, in partnership with a number of different blood centers across over 200 locations, the Muslims for Life campaign has collected over 65,000 pints of blood, which can save as many as 200,000 lives. Imagine that. There is no more love than to save someone's life by giving of your own blood. I have had the privilege of attending the Muslims for Life blood drives in the past, including in my own district at the Ahmadiyya Mosque in Chino, and with the American Red Cross on Capitol Hill. The Ahmadiyya Muslim community continues to rise to the occasion to heal our Californian community, to help our neighbors, and to welcome those who now call the US their home. You are a living and true intention of the Islam in your community by standing up for refugees, immigrants, homeless, the hungry, and to selflessly help those in need. As we commemorate the 20th anniversary of this difficult day, we cannot forget those who lost their lives in the tragedy and those impacted. The shocking and devastating attacks in New York City, the Pentagon, and Pennsylvania claimed the lives of 3,000 victims. Hundreds of those who were killed that day were first responders, firefighters, law enforcement officers. These were individuals who ran into danger when help was needed the most and paid the ultimate price. Their memories live with us always. We also remain committed to ensuring the safety and freedom of those who risk their lives for our country and those who work to advance the ideals of democracy that we enjoy. In the aftermath of 9/11, our nation came together to show the world our resilience and determination. Your efforts today to care for the vulnerable among us and lift up our community is a powerful way to demonstrate that resilience to honor this somber day. Thank you for allowing me to share this day of remembrance with you. And as you often say, love for all and hatred for none. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Congresswoman Torres, for that sincere support that you show always for our community and for all communities in our district, nationally as well. We can't wait to have you back in the district and attend one of our drives in the future. And thank you for all you do in leadership. Today, President Biden talked about unity. This is the message he gave to the American people, and that's the message you always give. And we appreciate that, and we look forward to a longstanding friendship in this space. So we have a number of blood drives going on today, and we thought it would be nice to actually parachute in to some of these locations. So we'll start with Connecticut, and my colleague Vajid Danish is there. Danish, can you hear us from Connecticut?
Yes, Amjad, we can hear you live and clear.
Excellent. Well, I'll hand it over to you. Tell us what's going on there at the Bethel Aman Mosque in Connecticut.
Sure. So we actually are at our blood drive that's happening right now. I've got Mayor Scarpati with me, and also a representative from the National Red Cross, Ursula, who's actually been a partner of ours for a long time. So she's been coming to our blood drive for a while, and she's the account manager. So before I actually have a conversation with the great folks that I have next to me, I actually wanted to talk about what we've been doing to get this blood drive set up. And we've been putting up signs for the past 2 weeks. We've been putting up signs this morning. As you can see on my right-hand side, we've actually converted our mosque into a mobile blood bank, again, with the help of Red Cross. So we've got donors that are actually donating blood right now. We've got tables set up, and the mosque has been completely, remodeled to fit, the needs that we have with the Red Cross. And so with that, I actually would like to pass it to Haris Qureshi, who's one of our Muslim youth that'll be helping me out.
Hello, I hope everyone can hear me. I'm outside, so I hope my audio is okay.
Loud and clear, Haris. We can hear you.
Yes, as Wajid said, it's a beautiful day here in Meriden, Connecticut at the Bethel Aman Mosque. We're having our blood drive, our annual 9/11 blood drive. It's been going on for several years, and as I've grown up in this community, it's always been a big part of what I've been, around to see. We had a few volunteers come after Friday prayer yesterday to set up. We have some really good signs out here. A lot of people have been driving by, see the sign come in, really excited to donate. We've had a full schedule with back-to-back people donating blood. And as you can see, the mosque in the background, it's really been a great day here.
All right, well, that's great, Haris. I know that you were 5 years old, if I understand correctly, on 9/11. You were in New York. How does it feel in terms of being young and growing up with that event in mind now, 20 years later? Reflect for a moment about that for our audience.
Absolutely. As Congresswoman said, it's been a solemn time for us as Americans. And for me, growing up as a Muslim American, really kind of seeing what my identity means. And I think through the Ahmadiyya Muslim Youth Association, I've grown up with a really strong sense of what this date means to me, which is showing our loyalty to our nation and our spirit of sacrifice. Every day, we always try to embody that spirit. And especially on occasions like this where we organize blood drives, and even on 4th of July, we do things in the local community. It's been a really big part of what it means to be a Muslim American for me.
Thank you for that. Danish, I'll hand it back to you.
Thank you, Amjad and Haris. As we've basically been with this mosque in Meriden for a long time, Mayor, and you've been a great support of ours. My roots are in Connecticut, go Huskies. So I actually moved here when I was 11 years old. So I also moved away from Connecticut, but Connecticut did pull me back. I lived in Seattle for a couple of years. I lived in Germany. I lived in the UK, and once a Connecticut boy, always a Connecticut boy. So, but what does 9/11, mean to you, Mayor? And how is it working with us, through the community events that we do, and especially the Muslims for Life blood drive?
Wajid, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here as mayor of our city, to see that the Batul Aman Mosque here in Meriden stepping up and doing your part to give back. And when you think of 9/11, I think we often hear the words never forget. Never forget the sacrifices that were made by the first responders, the selflessness that was given, but also never forget the unity that came in the days, weeks, and months following those horrific attacks. We came together as one nation, no matter the religion, no matter the color, no matter the gender. We were one nation. And today you look out in the blood drive and people of all walks of life are coming in to give back to others. And you're doing that here with your mosque. And I can't thank you enough.
Oh, thank you, Mayor. What does community mean to you? And we've been working together doing community events for such a long time. How do we get people encouraged to do more of these type of things, to participate in blood drives?
So as I've said, right, I mean, over the years that I've been mayor and been fortunate to have been invited here to your mosque, there's been a learning curve, just from my own ignorance, learning what your community is all about, the message of love for all and hatred for none, and what that truly means. I'm pleased to say that the Ahmadiyya Muslim community is strong here in our city, and it means to give back and be selfless. And you have done that. The entire mosque here has put community above all others. And I can't thank you enough for everything you've given back to Meriden.
Great. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for your support as always. Ursula, thank you so much for working with us throughout the years. And you're the account manager for the Red Cross here in Connecticut. Tell us what this means to you.
Well, we couldn't be more happy or, grateful for Batul Aman's support for letting us have blood drives. We have a critical emergency need right now with the Red Cross, and the partnership that we have here is tremendous. We have a great turnout. You're letting the community come in, and all the members and everyone who's involved, you just make a huge difference to the Red Cross, and you're helping save lives by what you're doing. So we are really, really, really thankful for what you're helping us, and we hope to continue this partnership.
Great. Thank you, Ursula. And how many donors have you had today?
So we've had already probably over 30 to 35. And the blood drive is wrapping up soon. So we just have had a tremendous turnout. So we just couldn't do it without you. So
Great.
We really appreciate it.
Thank you for the partnership. And with that, Amjad, I'll pass it back on to you.
Well, thank you, Danish. Mayor Scarpati, Ursula, it's so nice for you to join live. It means a lot to our community. You're doing such great work there locally. Mayor Scarpati, I remember meeting you at the annual convention in Harrisburg years ago. We look forward to seeing you in person again. And Ursula, please thank the Red Cross there on site. You guys just do an amazing job. We've seen it. We've observed it closely for 11 years, just selfless volunteers. And we hope that this blood drive exceeds your expectations. We always want to collect more than you expect. That's always the goal of the campaign. So thank you guys. We're going to now turn to Dr. Yvette Marie Miller. She's the American Red Cross Executive Medical Officer for Donor and Client Support Center. She's based in Charlotte, North Carolina, 25 years working for the American Red Cross, managing 36 regions. Dr. Miller, so delighted to have you. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Amjad, and for this opportunity to just have a conversation and talk about the importance of this moment, American Red Cross. And as so many people have already said, you know, this is the 20th anniversary of the attack on this country, which has left an indelible mark on many of us that were alive at the time. And it's also been, you know, it's part of our community history. And so many individuals that were not born at that time still know the tragedy of that moment. And it's all of our responsibility to support our communities. And certainly one of the ways that that can be done is through blood donation. And so again, I am and the Red Cross is completely grateful for the 11 years that your organization, your national organization, have held blood drives. And when blood is needed, only blood will do. And so, and as humans, we are the only ones that can donate blood. And as you already have mentioned, over the years, your organization has donated 65,000 people or more. So this moment is incredibly important. And as has already been mentioned, everyone who was alive at that time probably can remember where they were when they received the news of the attack on the Twin Towers. And that particular day, I usually listen to National Public Radio all the time in my car on the way to work. But that particular day, I hadn't turned on the television and I hadn't turned on my radio in the car. So when I got to work, staff were crowded around the television, and I had no idea what was happening until I walked into my office and saw the planes that crashed into the Twin Towers. And so it was this moment that I was frozen just in that experience. And also on this same day, you know, it's a day of joy for me because the moment of that tragedy, it was still in the back of my mind, you know, the love that I have to share with my brother. So it's an important moment for me personally, as well as a tragic moment for this country. So I absolutely want to thank your organization again for hosting blood drives. And 100,000 people in this country have sickle cell disease, the great majority of whom are African American and from communities of color. And so it is incredibly important for us to have a diverse blood supply, because many individuals that need blood that are in the African American community and communities of color, we have some unique antigens that are inherited genetically that for patients that require multiple transfusions, like those with sickle cell disease, they require very closely matched blood. And so that closely matched blood generally comes from someone of the same ethnic group. So I appreciate this opportunity and am so grateful to Ahmadiyya and for all of the work that you have done over the last 11 years. I'm grateful for all the work that your organization has done over its 100-year history, I guess 101 years, where you have spread the message of love and acceptance and community responsibility. And one of the easiest ways for us to honor our community responsibility is to roll up our sleeves and donate blood. And I donated blood earlier this week. And so I take my responsibility as a medical officer with the American Red Cross, but also as a member of the African American community to support the needs of my community. So thank you so much. And I look forward to continuing both my professional and personal relationship with Ahmadiyya. And I look forward to having you reach out to me, you know, regarding some work that I can probably do here in the Charlotte area. So again, thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Dr. Miller. That's amazing. And, you're leading by example. And I encourage everyone today, if they haven't already, to donate blood. I know I'm going shortly after this program to our Red Cross blood drive here in the Chino, California area. I really wanted to applaud you particularly for leading crucial conversations on structural racism and its impact on social determinants of health and healthcare delivery. And that's an important conversation that you're having. The Red Cross is leading that effort, and we hope to join you in that conversation as well. So thank you for joining.
Again, thank you so much.
We're now going to go to Saad Khan. I think he's live on site in South Virginia, where we have a blood drive going. Saad, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to South Virginia. Here we are at the Masroor Mosque, and we are hosting the Muslims for Life blood drive event over here today for the 9/11 anniversary to honor the lives that were lost during the 9/11 attacks. Alhamdulillah, our South Virginia chapter, where this mosque is situated, is very active with helping out its community. This year alone, this is the 6th blood drive that is happening. And they're having food pantries bi-weekly. There is actually a food pantry that is happening tomorrow. And they are also helping out the refugees that are coming in. We are very blessed to be at this mosque today because this mosque was inaugurated by the worldwide head of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community, Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, may Allah be his helper, in 2018 when he visited the United States. As you can see the plaque, the mosque was inaugurated by His Holiness on November 3rd, 2018. So this brings in importance and huge blessing for us to be here today for this special day, for the day of service. At this point, I'm going to take you inside the mosque to show you a little bit of the glimpse of what's happening here today. As you can see, the table here is set up. We have our volunteers working. And inside, you can see the blood drive is taking place. We have a lot of people. The blood drive is happening. It started here 8 in the morning. We had about 40 to 50 people that came in to donate the blood. So it has been a very busy day. And as I mentioned, there will be a food pantry tomorrow to serve the people. So thank you so much for featuring this, and back to you, Amjad.
Thank you, Saad. That's really terrific. I appreciate you giving us a glimpse in our mosque there in Manassas, Virginia. And this is just one of several drives happening today. This is also a National Day of Service, and we try to give back, not just by giving blood, but also many social service projects where visiting the elderly, feeding the hungry today. And so we encourage everyone who's on today. The day is still young. It's only 12:30 on the East Coast, early morning here in California. There's many opportunities for you to serve today, but to serve and unite behind this effort is very important. I'm going to now turn to Imam Frasat Ahmad, who's the Imam for the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community in our headquarters, Silver Spring, Maryland. Frasat, the floor is yours.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace, mercy, and blessings of Allah the Almighty be upon all of you on this auspicious occasion. As Amjad stated, I'm the Imam at the national headquarters of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community in the United States, located in Silver Spring, Maryland. And 20 years later, that memory still haunts me. It has left an indelible mark and an impress upon the wet cement of my soul. I was in New York City, only a few miles away when this horrific incident happened. I remember these words, and they will still haunt me. A plane just crashed into the Twin Towers. Silence struck my 7th grade class as our teacher told us this in the morning. Minutes later, we found out that another plane crashed into ground zero, into the towers. I remember thinking, is my brother alive? My brother was a few blocks away from the towers in his high school when the planes crashed. My father was in downtown Manhattan working at this time. And it was a frightening moment thinking that, or the thought that are my siblings, is my parent alive? Are my family members alive? Where are they? I remember seeing my brother at 10 o'clock at night later on because all of the subway systems had collapsed, the infrastructure had collapsed. There was nothing. He walked home. And I remember peering across the river, the East River, to my city being engulfed in black smoke. But little did I know that that same black smoke would engulf and taint my religion as well. I remember in the days, months, and years after, I was bombarded with questions about Islam. Why do your people hate us? Does Islam encourage bloodshed? Why don't you Muslims condemn 9/11? Why aren't you people apologizing? 20 years later, to this day, I and my fellow Muslim Americans are still presumed guilty of the heinous crime that is 9/11. And those who presume us guilty have no idea that the bulk of the world's 1.8 billion Muslims find militant Islam, such as Taliban and Al-Qaeda and ISIS, completely despicable. And little do they know that the Ahmadiyya Muslim community across the world has, since its inception and since 9/11, vigorously denounced and condemned all terrorist attacks. It's inherent within our religion to be a religion, a people of peace. The worldwide head of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, His Holiness Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, he's traversed continents, met with international bodies, met world leaders to condemn these attacks and to espouse and disseminate one message, a message of peace. In his own words, the evil acts conducted by extremists claiming to be Muslims have nothing to do with the real teachings of Islam. The very meaning of Islam is peace, security, giving a guarantee of protection against all forms of harm and evil. He says, he asks, who is a true Muslim? The question, he says, cannot even arise in the heart of a true Muslim that he should bear enmity, ill will, or hatred towards any of God's creation. If you consider yourself a true Muslim, acts like 9/11 are despicable. They're against the nature of our religion. And, you know, you might say, a skeptic might say, talk is cheap. You know, where's the action behind these words, you may ask? Well, as Amjad stated previously, you know, Ahmadi Muslims in America are shedding their blood to fix this problem of terrorism and Islamic militants in America and across the world. But we're not shedding our blood to take life, but rather we're shedding our blood to save life. And we've saved nearly 200,000 people so far. Let's, you know, as we're here today, you know, 10 years ago, we launched the Muslims for Life campaign. We partnered with, as you can see, regional and national blood centers to host several thousand interfaith blood drives across America. And as you heard, 65,000 to 70,000 pints of blood have been donated, saving as many as 200,000 lives. Let's quantify that. Let's put that number into perspective. Since 9/11, 3,658 Americans have been killed worldwide by terrorist attacks. 7,057 US service members have been killed in post-9/11 operations. In total, around 10,000 American citizens have lost their lives to terrorism. Let's compare that with the blood that a small community in America, a small Muslim community, the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, has donated and helped donate to save the equivalent of 200,000 lives. So Ahmadi Muslims have ensured that for every American killed since 9/11, for every American victim of terrorism since 9/11, we have ensured that 20 American lives have been saved. That is action. That is the substance behind our words. As you just heard, a representative of the Red Cross said that we're in a severe blood shortage in America. You know, every 2 seconds, someone in America needs blood. So whether you're a Muslim or not, we can all agree that human life is sanctified, it's sacred. The Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said this as well, and he certainly advocated for it. God has made your blood, the blood of every human being, the blood, the property and life of every human being, sacred and holy to one another, is what he has taught us. So I end with this humble request. Let's make the effort to find local blood drives around us. And as you see across our chapters, across our 62 chapters, we're making the effort to open our mosques to host blood drives. And let's try to preserve the sanctity of life that our collective enemies are trying to snatch away from us. This is what will unify us as American citizens. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. May God the Almighty bless every single one of us and unify us against all acts of hate.
Well, thank you very much, Imam Frasat, for those stirring words, distilling the beautiful and essential teachings of Islam on this very important topic, on this very important day. We are now going to Boston and actually Canton, Massachusetts, and my colleague, Nasser Rana, who serves as the local director of public affairs for the Boston chapter, is busy with a weekend of activities. Nasser, are you able to hear us?
Hello, Amjad, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead, Nasser. You're live.
So we are live from the Greater Boston chapter. We are in Canton, Sharon area, about 25 miles south of the city of Boston. And that's because our mosque is located literally at the intersection, or I should say the border of Canton and Sharon towns. Today, we were very honored to have been invited to Sharon and Canton 9/11 memorial services, which we have attended earlier. Our mosque, as I mentioned, is in the Sharon area. We've been here in this area since 1997. The Boston Mosque, actually, our roots go back to 1950s, but the official Boston Sharon presence started in 1997. We have folks in Eastern Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Canton, Sharon, quite a bit of spread. So today we are here to remember, to honor, and to unite on 9/11. What I will give you is Harun, if you can give a 360-degree view. We have a table set up, as you can see, the Muslims for Life and Ahmadiyya Muslim Community table set up. It's a great family day. We have had quite a busy table, a lot of kids coming in. You have the police station, fire chief, the FM generator, and you have some other kids' activities going on a beautiful fall day in September. Reminds me of 9/11. So with those that introduction, I'm joined by the Canton Police Chief Ken Berkowitz, as well as Canton Fire Chief Charles Doody, Sharon Police Chief Don Brewer, and Sharon Select Board Member Hannah Sutulkowski. So I'll start with the Canton Police Chief. So Chief, given our relationship that goes about, I would say, a good 10, 12 years, maybe more, if you can comment a little bit about us and the blood drive and some events we have done, and we have a blood drive coming up tomorrow. So if you can make some comments about that relationship and how that has evolved.
Sure. Assalamu alaikum to everybody out there, and good afternoon, good morning on the West Coast. I do want to just take a minute to thank Nazir and the whole community for being such good partners for the Canton Police Department and the town of Canton in general. Like Nazir said, our relationship goes back at least 10 to 15 years, and I've traveled to the Jalsa in Harrisburg at one point and spoke to, I think, as many as 10,000 of your community members, and it was really just a great opportunity. Our relationship has bloomed like a spring flower, and we've been able to really collaborate on a lot of different things, and gotten to know a lot more about the religion, and also open up my heart and get to know a lot of community members. So I'm very grateful for that. Tomorrow we're co-sponsoring a blood drive with your community and some of the other temples and churches and synagogues in our town area. So it's just everybody's doing their part to make the world and our little area more united, especially in what better way to commemorate 9/11 when so much divide really was the precipitous for that awful day for all of us. But again, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your partnership, and it's always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Chief. I will now move on to the Canton Fire Chief, Chief Doody.
Yes.
First of all, thank you so much for inviting us. It was a beautiful ceremony. Not only a beautiful, but a very educational and filled with history. I learned a lot.
Good.
I learned a lot about what FM generator did. I learned a lot about some of the lives from the citizens we lost. So what does this 9/11 mean to you, and particularly this day of service in the context of 9/11?
Yeah, I mean, since 9/11 happened in 2001, we decided as a community we would try to, commemorate that day, remember those that were lost that day. So we've been doing it for 20 years. And really, I think the focus for us is just to have the younger people be part of the ceremony, students, children, just so they have some sense of what the day meant, the historical impact of that day. So the next generations will remember and learn from it.
Yeah.
So that's why we continue to do it. And this is probably the biggest one we've done.
Okay.
Usually we do it in front of the fire station. We usually have 40 or 50 people, but today, as you can see, beautiful day. We got some more events happening today, and thank you for coming by. You added to the day very much. Thank you.
Thank you, and I congratulate you. Looks like you were successful. I see a lot of young kids, youth who've been coming to our table, having a conversation. That is what it is all about, passing on that message of remembrance and unity to the next generation. So we thank you for that.
You're welcome. I think the candy helped too.
The candy, okay, that's good. Okay, that's a good lesson learned. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. So we'll continue. We'll move to our home base of Sharon, where our mosque is. I'm joined by Sharon Chief Don Brewer and Hannah Sotelkowski, the select board member. So as I look at this blood drive, you can see it's an interfaith blood drive. We have a lot of participation from Kenton and Sharon. Sharon, I've been here since the mosque was built. I've always seen it as a very welcoming, diverse community. So as we look back in the context of 9/11, if you can comment about the diversity and unity that Sharon brings in.
Well, you want to go first?
Sure. Well, I think Sharon, we're so lucky to be filled with mosques, synagogues, churches, and so many different places of worship that, it's not just our cultural diversity, but the religious diversity in our community that brings us together. And really the partnerships that our public safety department and public safety officials create in the community also embrace that level of diversity. Whether it's the Citizens Public Safety Academy or showing up at all the different events that we have in town, we really just embrace one another.
Thank you.
Yeah, we from the Sharon Police Department, the men and women who work there, we truly love and honor our Muslim community. We have a great partnership. We love what you bring to our community. Our community, you're a part of a very diverse community of over, I think it's 90 different countries represented in that small little town of 18,000. It's like I've lived there since 2000. It's an amazing place to live, to work, to raise a family. And thank you for being such a huge part of our community. That's something unique. I think that a religious belief can bring is that connection and unity to a community. And thank you for that. And we count it a real privilege to serve you.
Yeah. Thank you very much for those comments, and thank you for making that a very welcoming place. That's what we cherish. That's why we call Sharon our other home, our real home, our spiritual home. And that's why our next generation, our kids, I've spoken to them at times. And sometimes I would ask the question, should we, look some other place for a mosque? And they would say, no, we want to stay in Sharon. So with my president, and I thank you from the bottom of our hearts for that.
And also I would like to thank you for coming here in a very busy time. I know you were there in the Sharon ceremony, and then you hopped over here in time.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
Yeah, that's great. So with that, I'll turn it back to you, Amjad, and with thanks from our president, Kareem Sharif, and myself.
Well, that was wonderful, Nasser. Thank you so much. What a great weekend of activities. I want to thank Chief Berkowitz, a good friend of the community, Fire Chief Charles Duty, the Sharon Police Chief Don Brewer, and the Sharon Select Board member, Hannah Sotelkowski. All of you, thank you for being a part of this live event. I think we were all able to enjoy a little piece of Massachusetts today. I spent 3 years there, so my heart's there, and I remember meeting you several times, Chief Berkowitz, as well. So thank you very much for that. We're now closing close to the end here, and I just wanted to remind everyone about the importance of this blood drive campaign, this life-saving campaign. We are in the middle of this campaign today. We have 5 drives. You saw Connecticut and South Virginia, tomorrow in Boston, later in Los Angeles and Pittsburgh. And then tomorrow we have several more drives. So we have a good number, I think over 25 that are being held. Some were held earlier this week. And we ask everyone here at the end to please take some time to give blood, donate blood. It's an acute shortage right now. We're in the middle of a pandemic. We've transformed our mosques into service centers to make them engines for America. It's very important that we keep our mosques and our places of worship open. And it's nothing more powerful than partnering with the American Red Cross to do these drives. So with that, I thank you for joining this virtual event. I hope that you will do something today on this National Day of Remembrance and Service. Thank you for joining this program. Enjoy the rest of your day. Assalamu alaikum.